In today's tutorial, learn how to make the country granny blanket. This is a granny square and this is a beautiful pattern, and we're gonna begin right away. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the country granny square. This is part of an Afghan. Now there are two different squares for this particular Afghan. We're going to cover both in today's tutorial. Now if you're a crochet cruiser for 2016, this is the official square that we're going to be using. We're asking all the cruisers to substitute their hook for a Bernat Super Value or equivalent, and we're going to be using a size J 6mm crochet hook for this today. So you can find the free instructions available on Yarn Inspirations. I'll put a link in the more information for this video in order for you to do. So before we begin, this is a very unusual square, and the instructions are not only in written format, but they're also in crochet diagrams. So if you love diagrams, it's a really nice way to be able to do it. I really was inspired by peacock feathers when it came to this one here, and remember, crochet cruisers, you need to make sure that the final border is a pure white so that we can link all of our squares together for Project Linus. Now what we have here today is a very simple pattern. It's just a matter of following along, and of course if you're doing an Afghan, the easiest way to do an Afghan is to do everything in sections. So I would do all your green section first for all of the motifs that you need, come back and do all the blue for all of them, and then do all the purple, and then so on. Just makes it a lot quicker. So without further ado, let's get started in showing you how to do this. So let's begin to do the square first. You're gonna see lots of different colors. The squares are all the same. You will notice that there's different sections as far as colors contrasting, and you'll see all of that here. That's just to tell you how to do different colors, and when you're looking further into the pattern, when you make different squares, it shows you how to put them together. So each one of these represents a square. So you're also gonna notice it's on a diagonal, so therefore there's triangle pieces, and we're gonna cover that in the second part of the tutorial. But let's begin to do the regular square first. So let's begin. I'm going to create a slip knot to start, and we're gonna create the center ring first. So let's put this on the hook. Remember that this never counts as one once it's on the hook. So let's begin. We're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's form a ring by inserting our hook into the beginning chain, grabbing the yarn and pulling through, and there is your beginning chain ring right in the middle. Let's grab this straggler and let's pinch it together as part of the ring so we can bury that in within the next round. Let's start off round number 1 by chaining 5. So let's begin. So 1, 2, 3. So I said to go 5, but I've stopped at 3 just to illustrate something. In the rules of crochet, the chaining of 3 when you start counts as a double crochet. So let's continue the other 2 chains. So 1 and 2. So what you're looking at here is not only this chain is actually part of a double crochet, plus it's a chain of 2 at the top. That'll make sense in just a moment. So let's begin to double crochet back into the center of the ring, just like this, and we're going to chain 2 then. So 1 and 2, and let's double crochet back into the center of the ring. And that's how we're gonna go all the way around. You're gonna end up with 8 of these particular posts going all the way around after you do the repeat pattern. So I'm just chaining 2 in between each one of these double crochet posts. So 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. Just like that. So I want to count because I have not been counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I gotta chain 2 again and do another one for the 8th one. And before I can join it to the 3rd chain, I have to chain 2 first, 1 and 2, then join to the top, or the chain 3rd space of, okay, and then that makes it equal then going all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and that's what it looks like. Let's fasten off. And so to fasten off, I'm just gonna show you quickly. I'm only gonna show you once. I'm just trimming the yarn, and I'm just gonna put the yarn over the hook and pull through, and I'm just going to feed it through and weave it through some of the ends here so that we can trap it into position. Now for this one particular square is that you really got to pay attention to this particular one here, that you really do weave it a good job. I actually am doing an extra secure part right here, and then I'm just gonna continue. Okay, this round doesn't get touched very much in the next round, so there's not a lot to grab onto these stragglers if there is anything hanging out at the end. So let me trim that now, and we're gonna move up to your next color, and in my case it's going to be that peacock blue. So here's the diagram that we're gonna be working with, and I really want to show you round number 2. See how the double crochets are leaning over toward the side. We're going to be establishing that. So we're going to be doing this massive chain to begin with, chaining a 7. We're gonna come 4th chain and begin to do all of this stuff, so it's all lying down going all the way around. Creates a really unique look, and when you're doing it, it looks wrong, but you just have to have faith in it because it actually works out in the end. So let's begin round number 2. I'm going to create a slip knot to start, and I'm going to insert it in the top of any one. You can choose any one of these double crochets if you wish. Okay, and just grab the straggler and the yarn, go over and pull through. This is the way I like to join my yarn because it's extra secure, and just go over. Okay, so remember what I said, we have to chain a long way. So what I just do is this straggler, I will pull it through the first chain for 1. So we're gonna chain 7. So I'm gonna pull it through 1, and now I'm gonna leave that out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to do that bending over of the double crochets, so it's gonna bend over. So what we want to do is that we want to count to the 4th one back from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's where we're gonna start our first double crochet, is in the 4th chain from the hook. But we're not gonna finish the double crochet. We're going to do like a cluster or a group. So we're gonna yarn over and pull through 1. Okay, and now you have 3 on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 and hold. So you're not gonna finish this double crochet. Let's yarn over again and go back into that same 4th from the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 and hold. So now here is your 3 double crochets that are leaning over. So remember this first one counts as one of them. So that's why there's 3. Yarn over and pull through all 3 to lock it into position. So now what we're going to do is that we're gonna come to the next double crochet over here, and we are going to double crochet into that space or into that stitch. So this is a repeat pattern. So the first one is always a little more complicated to always get started, but now it's gonna be really easy. So to begin the next one, going all the way around, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and coming back to the 4th in the hook, which is right here. Okay, we're going to double crochet that cluster again. So just wrap the hook, pull through 2 and hold. Okay, yarn over again, going into the same stitch or same chain, pulling it through 2 and hold. You now have your 3 on there, so yarn over and pull through all 3, and then come back to the next double crochet and lock it in with the double crochet. See how this kind of looks weird right now? It's fine. So let's begin again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we come back to the 4th, so wrap the hook, come back to the 4th chain, pull through 2 and hold, coming back into the same chain, pull through 2 and hold. You now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and then lock it in to the next with the double crochet to the next. I'm gonna show one more time so you got that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, go into the 4th, pull through 2 and hold. You could do it again, pull through 2 and hold, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then double crochet back in. So continue to do that all the way around. I'll meet you back in just a moment, and I'll show you what to do next. So I'm nearly done at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I need a total of 8, and you can see I have a gap still anyway. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 chain from the hook. We're doing that, and do it again like so. Pull through all 3, and the double crochet is already existing, so all we're just going to do is that we're just going to come into the very beginning where we started with the slip stitch to bring that all to a conclusion. Please do not fasten off this color unless you wish to, but for the crochet cruisers, please don't unless you really want to express your creativity, and it's just faster anyway if you don't anyway. So up to you, it's your choice, it's your project. So let's begin round number 3. we're gonna simply just start by chaining 1 first, and then we're gonna single crochet in the top of this double crochet, and then we're going to begin, and we're gonna be working up over top of these things, not directly on them. They're just gonna sit by themselves stationary, and we are going to be forming corners in the middle of this entire round as we go on. Let's begin to do this first. So we're going to chain 3 first. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna start doing some clusters, and there's gonna be 3 clusters all within this next double crochet, and this is gonna form the first corner. So to do that, we're gonna yarn over, go into the next double crochet, pull through 2 and hold. Okay, and we want to do that total 3 times. Pull through 2 and hold. So yarn over, go in, pull through 2 and hold. You will end up with 4 loops on your hook. So grab your yarn and pull through all of them, and then as per the instructions, this is that we're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we come back into the same double crochet for another group of a cluster. Okay, and we're just going to do that once again. There's gonna be a total of 3 clusters into each corner. So here's your next 4 loops. Pull through all of them and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let's do another cluster. So just into the same stitch, and we're doing a cluster again. Okay, and you got your 4, pull through all, and now what we're going to do is that we're gonna work along the next flat side. So to begin from this point, you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the middle of the flat side, which is your next double crochet down, and it's just single crochet, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to begin the next corner. So remember what we're doing on the corners. There's gonna be a cluster first into the next double crochet that's available to you. Okay, and you have to do that total 3 times. Okay, there's your 3 loops or 4 loops. Pull through, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, coming into the same stitch for another cluster, which is your second one of 3. Okay, there's your 4 loops. Pull through, chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3 and 4, coming back in, and this is your final cluster, and this is the third one. Just like so. So here's your 4 loops, pull through. So now your next corner is done. You can see the first corner is here. Here's the next one. So to begin the next flat side, it's chaining a 3, 1, 2 and 3, single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and ready for next corner, which is the same thing that you already know in the next double crochet. So there's gonna be 3 clusters. Whoops, that was I finished that off all the way. Make sure it is a cluster, so you gotta stop one before finalizing the stitch. Pull through all 3, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, cluster again. Just like so. Here's your 4 loops, pull through, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the final cluster is in the same one. Okay, pull through all 4 loops, and we do another flat side. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, single crochet into the next double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, and begin the next corner again. So I'll meet you back in just a moment. Okay, once the final corner is in where I left you, we're simply just going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. The next one is your single crochet, but this is where we started, just like over here. So we're just going to join to the single crochet that we started with, just like this. So okay, so that concludes this round. So you've just now gone from a round circle to a square in a matter of 1 revolution. So when we come back, we're going to start off with the next color and then the final color. So we only have 2 more rounds after this. In round number 4, we're gonna be doing some trebles. So right in the middle, just like so. So you gotta watch where you're doing these trebles. There's gonna be a total of 5 of them in the middle, just like this. These trebles go around this actually chain 3 gap space, which is really easy, and then we just have to kind of pay attention to what we're doing here on the corners. So these were the chain 4s in between the cluster, so the stitches are working in the chain 4s just like you see. So it actually becomes really easy to remember how to do this particular round. So let's get started next. So let's begin. I'm gonna start off with doing a slip knot, and again I'm gonna start off in the middle so I can see the corners are on both sides of the project here. I'm going to start off with a single crochet right in the middle, and you can start off on any one of those single crochets as long as it's right in the middle. So, okay, so I'm just gonna join it, and then I'm just going to chain up 4. Okay, and that counts as a treble. So that was 1, 2, 3 and 4. And so right in this chain 3 space we're going to treble. So we've got to wrap the hook twice to go in to that space and treble as normal. So wrap and wrap. Okay, and so now we're gonna start playing and getting this kind of the corners ready. So let's begin. So right on top of the first cluster, do you see how it's where I put everything together? It's like all of the stitches are leaning into one right here. That's where we want to go. So we just want to go with the double crochet. So we're no longer doing trebles, but we're gonna do double crochet into that spot. You see it? And then we start playing with this gapping space right here. So in this gapping space we're gonna put 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. And once you get that done, you are gonna total chain of total 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to skip over this middle cluster. So there's one cluster, there's the middle one, and there's the other one. We want to skip over the middle one and go to the next space for 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So we just successfully turned a corner right there. So let's begin. We're gonna work along the side. So right where you see how they're all leaning towards into the center right here, that's the first double crochet. Okay, it's just like I showed you on the other side when I asked you to do this one over here. Okay, it's the same. If you look at it, it's kind of reciprocal to it. And now we're going to start doing trebles. So we're gonna put 2 trebles into the next gapping space, the chain 3 gap, and it's 1 and 2. We're gonna do a treble right into the first single crochet. So wrap and wrap right into the first single crochet, and then we're gonna treble another 2 times into the next gapping space that's available to you. So that's your 5 trebles right on the side, and then we're gonna start with the double crochet. So we're gonna double crochet, just look for the cluster where they're all coming together. Okay, so it's not a space, it's right in the stitch for the first double crochet, and now we're gonna play in the next gap. So we're 3 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, come to the next chain 3 space, or chain 4 space I should say, sorry. It's a chain 4 space and 3 double crochets. Okay, let me take it down one more side. So we're gonna double crochet, see where they're all coming together. We're gonna double crochet first before we start the trebles, and the trebles are then playing in the next space. So we're gonna wrap and wrap, and we're only doing 2. Okay, and then we are going to be in the middle here, so we're going to treble into the single crochet that's right directly in the middle of the square, and then wrap and wrap and come into the next space. We're putting 2 trebles there. Okay, and now we're going to put in a double crochet right into where this cluster is, and then we're gonna begin the next corner. So the corners you already know how to do, but let me refresh you one more time. It's a chain 4 space. You're gonna put 3 double crochets in. Okay, and then chaining a 3, 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the next chain 4 space over here for 3 double crochets. So hopefully you get that going all the way around. I've almost taken you almost the way around, and then finally the next one is the 1 single crochet where the top of the cluster is, and then you begin the trebles. So do that, and then I'll meet you back, and then we'll get the final round done together. So that's what it looks like at this point. I've just come around the final corner, and I'm coming along. Now we've already done the first half of the one side, and so I've already put in my double crochet in the top of this cluster. So all I have left to do is just put in 2 trebles into this chain 3 space. And then I simply just join it to the top of the chaining of 4 that we started with, like so. And we're gonna fasten that off, and that concludes this round, and let's move on to your next. So I'm back on the chart. I just need to do my final round. You can see how simple this is. We're just putting in 2 double crochets into the chain 3 on the corners, and then basically every stitch along the way is going to get something, and it's all just double crochets all the way around. So we're gonna start off in the middle, and then we're gonna make our way around, and it's so simple it's not even funny. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a slip knot to be join, and I'm gonna come in the very top. This is the center, and I'm gonna come in the very top of that to join. Okay, just grabbing both of the stragglers and the working yarn, pulling it through, stitch to join. And all we're just going to do then is simply just chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet in the rules of crochet. And then basically every stitch along the path is going to get a double crochet into it. So this whole round is really exceptionally easy. Every stitch gets something. So the only difficult part is the corner, if you even want to call it difficult. But once you run out of stitches and you hit this big gap, you got to do something. And according to the instructions, all it is, it's just 2 double crochets. So let's do that one. So 2 double crochet first, followed by chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets back into that same space. That's as hard as it gets. Okay, so you just got to make sure there's 2, and then we start immediately again with the first stitch that's available to you, and just double crochet yourself down the next side. You get that? That's pretty simple, right? So I don't think anything in this pattern is actually really hard to follow at all. We're gonna do the triangle coming up next as part 2 of this tutorial, which will be available. Just got to keep on watching. It'll be part of this particular video. And again, I'm just continuing to crochet myself all the way to the next chain space, which is next. Okay, so remember it's 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, followed by chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochet. And continue to do that all the way around. So I'm coming up on the final side, and remember where we started on halfway the final side, so we're not gonna have to go all the way across. We're just gonna have to stop on the final double crochet that is there. And that concludes the idea of doing the squares. So we're gonna do the triangles next in this tutorial. And this is the last one. You can see that this one matches this one, so this one is the final, and we're just going to join it with the top of the beginning chain 3 and fasten that off, and voila, you have the square complete. So you just have to do a multiple of these squares. They actually look really quite pretty. You know, choose any colors that you want. I think that it can play around with your eyes a lot for this particular design. So let's begin part 2 of this tutorial, where we're going to do the other part. And basically this Afghan is done on a diagonal, so therefore there's triangles that are on the edge. So if you look at the original pattern that you have, is that you can see the triangles are along the edge just like here. Okay, so this is a great idea. So if you want to do the diagonal version, this is what you're gonna need to do. So you can actually see that this here is a duplicate of this, but done as a half. And the only difference is that the final revolution then goes across this whole one line. So I don't think it's that hard. If you know how to do this, this is gonna be pretty easy. And let's begin to do that next. Oh, one more thing. You should know that when we go to work with this, we are going to be turning around our project. So it's not like we're going in a continuous circle like this. We're going to then finish the row and then turn around and go back in the other way. So it's boom, 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 boom. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Let's begin now. And grab your yarn and let's get going. So in round number 1, what's gonna happen here is that we're gonna start off with a chaining of 6, and then we're gonna be playing all within the final chain that you see here. Okay, so everything is gonna be working into there. So let's begin, and we'll do that next. Okay, let's grab our yarn and let's create a slip knot. And again, I'm using the same size hook for my substitution of a 6mm size J crochet hook today. Remember that this does not count as 1. So we're just going to simply just chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so we're gonna be playing with this stitches all within the first chain right here. So let's begin. Let's go with row number 1, and we're gonna do 1 double crochet. So I'm just gonna take it slowly. So 1 double crochet, and it's all within this first chain. Just like so. And then we are going to chain 2. So 1 and 2, and then a double crochet again, just like so, and then 1 and 2 double crochet back in. Okay, and what we have here is that we should have a total count. If you're looking at the diagram, 1 2 3 4, and I'm looking at the diagram 1 2 3 4, there should be 5, so I'm going to chain 2 again and then just going back in for a final double crochet. So just refer to that diagram if you're ever confused, and make sure it looks the same. So we have our 2 sides and then 3 in the middle, just like you see in the diagram. And what we want to do at this particular point is that we want to fasten off this yarn because we're already ready for blue. Let's begin row number 2. So row number 2, we're going to be starting on right where we finished that last double crochet in. So be conscientious of where you started, and we're going to start there and go our way back, and then we're going to come up here and then make our way back in the other direction. So in this case, what I have here is that I can see that this is my chaining of where I started on the far side, and this was my last double crochet. So this is where I want to go. So I'm going to turn it in a way that makes sense to me, that this still is the double crochet, and I'm going to insert my hook first, just like so, and I'm gonna grab my blue yarn. Okay, I'm going to start off with this slip knot, and I'm just gonna put that onto my hook. I've already got it through, pull through, and according to the instructions I need to chain 7. So I'm gonna pull it through, and then I'm gonna wrap the straggler and the yarn through the first time. So that's my join, and I need to chain 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So just like we did before where the clusters were lying down on the sides, we have to count back to the fourth one. So 1 2 3 and 4, 1 2 3 4, and we're going to cluster like we have already done in the past, and we want to do that total 2 times so that we have 3 loops on our hook just like this. Okay, and then we're going to secure it. And now that we've pulled through all 3 loops, we're just going to come back down to the next double crochet here, and we're going to double crochet into that one, and then we're going to begin the cluster lying on its side again. So how we do that again is 1 2 3 4. Remember we had to do the 7 to get this established, but now that we are established we only do 4. Fourth from the hook we're gonna do a cluster just like we've already taught you before, and then once you have your 3 there, pull through all 3 and then double crochet into the next double crochet that's available to you. Okay, so let's again. So 1 2 3 4. Fourth from the hook we want to do a cluster. Okay, pull through all 3 and then coming back down in for double crochet into the next, and we just have to do this a total of 1 more time. So 1 2 3 4, pulling it through, pull through 2. Okay, pull through everything, and then the final what we have here is that we have to establish it like we did in the very beginning, is that we just have to come into the 3rd chain. I'm just looking really carefully. I just gotta double crochet myself into the 3rd one. 1 2 3, just like there. 1 2 3, and double crochet into the final like so. Okay, so as per the instructions you should have 4 of these clusters. So there you have the double crochet, and just like you see there. So we're gonna leave on this color. Let's turn our work and begin the next. So let's turn our work and begin, and it's just like we have done on the big square, but this time it's gonna be slightly different because it's only a triangle. So let's begin. We're going to start off by chaining 3, 1 2 3, and we want to double crochet back into that same starting spot where we came out of, and then we're gonna chain 4. So 1 2 3 4, and we're going to cluster into the same spot again. Okay, so it's basically you're starting off with the partial cluster and then you're doing a full cluster, and remember there's 3 of those for this one here. So there should be 4 loops on the hook, and then pulling through all of those. And now it's just like working across the side of a regular square is 1 2 3 for 3 chains. The next double crochet is a single crochet, and then again it's 1 2 3. So the next double crochet is going to be a full-fledged corner like it would have been on the big square. So we're gonna do a first cluster just like so. So there's your first cluster, there's a 3, pull through, and then 1 2 3 4. Let's cluster again. So this is the middle of the 3 clusters that we need for a full-fledged corner. and then 1, 2, 3, and then another cluster. So this is your final, just like so. So once you have that done, pull through, and now you're gonna work down the side. So you can see that the triangle shape is starting to take effect. So you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, coming into the next double crochet for a single crochet, and now you're gonna do 1, 2, 3. The outside one here, okay, this is right where we started, is going to be a partial cluster. So we're gonna do a first one as a full-fledged one. So that's gonna be your 3. Okay, so you'll have your 4 loops on the hook. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one is only gonna be into the same stitch, but only do it twice. Okay, so there should be only a total of 3 loops on the hook. Okay, instead of the 3, and then pull through all of them. And then what I need you to do is need you to fasten off, and you can now physically see that there is a corner going, or a triangle going on here, and now we're ready for the next particular color. So we're now ready for level number 4. So 4 is actually pretty easy. It's just like it is over here. I find that 3 in this particular pattern is probably the most complicated one of them, but once you get it, you get it. So let's move on, and we're gonna be starting off down here, and we're gonna work our way across. And basically, again, it's the same concept. It's just all it is, it's a triangle instead. So this is where I left off. I'm just gonna turn my work and get ready for the next one. So let's begin, and we are going to be doing a total of chaining of 5 once we get hooked in. So we're gonna come into the very top of the beginning right here. Let's fasten on our yarn first, like so, and we want to do a total chain 5. So I put the straggler through one more time. So this is 1 of 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So right in the chain 4 space right here, there's going to be 3 double crochets. So we used to do that before, right, when it was a square. So that's not a big deal, right? So what we're going to do then is just like I showed you in the square, see where everything is coming together. Okay, look for all these clusters where they're coming together. That's going to be a double crochet. And now the next space here is going to be 2 trebles. So we wrap and wrap, just like so. And the next one should be a single crochet, and there it is, and that's going to be a treble as well. And the next space over here on this side is going to be 2 trebles, just like it is on the other side. So wrap and wrap. Okay, so here is the corner. So the first one here, see where all of them are coming together? That's going to be a double crochet first by itself right into that particular stitch, not to a gap space, and now we're ready to turn a corner. So to do a corner is 3 double crochet, okay, chaining a 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we skip into and go to the next gapping space for 3 double crochet, and we're officially just turning the corner, just like there. So let's begin again. We're gonna come down the other side. So the first one is a double crochet right into where this cluster is. Just look for where all of them are pointing into. That's your first one. And now there's gonna be 2 trebles gonna be in the next chain space. So I think, in my opinion, if you did the squares first, this will make a lot more sense before doing a triangle. Okay, we're gonna do a treble into the single crochet, and then 2 more trebles into the next chain space. Okay, and so let's finish off this side. So we're gonna put in a double crochet first where all the trebles are coming together. Okay, just right there. And then what we're going to do then, we're just going to look to this first corner right here, and it's gonna be 3 double crochets. So this is half of that, an actual official corner. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then double crochet into the top of this here. So when we started off and we chained 5, what we were actually doing is just like this over here. So do you see how it looks uniform? So let's begin to do your final rotation, which is probably pretty easy too. And finally, for the final round, number 5, we're going to start off and we're going to do a total of chaining of 8. And this 8, 3 of it counts as a double crochet, and then this is the gapping space going around as if it was like this. Okay, so that makes a total a lot of sense. You need a bigger space just like you see. So you have a chain 5 space here and here. And this is the only one here, it's just uniform with like this. Because this is a bigger turn, you need more of a chaining space. So we're gonna begin up here and work our way around. It looks like everything just like this one gets a double crochet except for the corners, and that's where we're gonna play. So let's begin the final round, number 5. Just starting off with a slip knot. So we're going to insert it right into the gapping space just like you see in the diagram. Okay, and just get both of them, pull through. And again, if you have a better way of attaching, that's up to you, it's your creativity. So now I'm gonna chain my 8. So the first one I just wrapped the straggler with it to lock it into position. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 2 more double crochets into this space. So wrapping only once because it's a double crochet. I didn't even say why. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. So there you go. We have 2 double crochets into the same space. So now we're gonna work our way to the first official 90-degree corner. Okay, so every stitch is going to get something. So we're just gonna double crochet as normal into each one of these, going all the way around, or going all the way to the next corner. So used to doing circles and granny squares where we go all the way around. I always find triangles are either something I love or I don't. Depends on the particular pattern that I'm working with. I have a love-hate relationship with triangles. I like not changing yarns so quickly because you seem like you take forever to change yarns all the time. I'm liking how this designer has not had us change colors that often, which is winning in my book. So we're coming to the first gapping space, and so the gapping space on the 90-degree turn is always the same as the other one. It's 2 double crochet, chaining of 3, and 2 double crochet. So let's make our way down the other side. So there's 1/2 of it done, and so we're gonna come around and every one is going to get a double crochet going in. So this particular round goes all the way across the flat section of the bottom section of the triangle. So I'm gonna get myself there in just a moment. I don't have any good jokes to share, so you just gotta watch me hook. Okay, and so I'm coming up all the way close to the other side. So you'll notice that, and I just noticed this too when I was glancing, is that the corners are not uniform. So it's not like you always have like 2 double crochets and then chaining something and then 2. On these particular corners that we have, because the corner is so severe, they're different on either side. So what we're gonna start off with to begin is that it's gonna be 2 double crochets first, followed by chaining of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's gonna be 3 more double crochets into that same space. So one side that we started with gets 2, and then this side on the big flat side of the triangle gets 3. And now let's work across the base. So you have 3 into that same space. We have to add another 3 into that same space. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, all into that same space. So now what we're going to do is that we're gonna come onto the blue section here, and we have to put in 2 along there too. So you just kind of space it out in there. So 1, and then I come in just a little bit down further into that same 1. Okay, and now we're gonna come into the gapping space here. Okay, and we're going to put in 2 there. We're gonna put in 2 into this gapping space here. Okay, so now we're just gonna jump onto this side of the semicircle and put in 2 on this side. So we're just jumping all that space. It will work its way out, and we're just gonna do exactly what we did on this side but on this side. So you're gonna start off with 2. Okay, and that makes a lot of sense. And what we're going to do then is we're going to put in 2 into the next space here. So 1 is here, 2 into the same space, so let's do the other 2. And if in doubt, just look back to where you were and just kind of make it look proper to what you see what's going on this side, make it good on that side. So if you see here, so the next one is going to be right into this 2 is going to be right into this blue section right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna separate it out and put in 2 there. Okay, you can follow this on the diagram if you wish, but once you got the first one in, so then you can see all of this is going on over here. So basically we started off with 1, okay, just like you see here. So that means if you had a total of 6 here before doing this edge and you already have 1, that means you only have to do 5. Okay, so this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so then the 6 is the one that you started with, and just join it at the top of the beginning chain 3 at the chain 3 level. So what you have to just pay attention to is that the stitches go in equally to where you see it going on one side. So pretend that this middle piece is a mirror and everything just has to be equal on the other side. So let me fasten off and let's conclude today's tutorial. So there you have the triangle just like so. So it'd be ready for the project, and you have to do so many of those. You can refer to the pattern. So now that we have that done, you can have the other squares that we have already completed, and they basically just attach together in a formation just like so. So the other square will be up and causing this whole thing to be on a diagonal looking appearance. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as the Crochet Crowd. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see ya.